A few months ago, I made an ad game and the video did quite well, so today I am going to make another ad game in 24 hours and without RTX. This is specifically about constructing bridges with blocks until reaching the target. But instead of blocks like in the original game, we will use bodies instead. I call this innovation. Well, the truth is, it's to avoid getting epic lawsuits. First, we need to get the map. The idea is to create a background for all the game levels like many other games. But I do not know how to create decent 3D models, so I looked through the Unity store and ended up purchasing all of this for only $5. I created an empty scene and wanted to set the game during a sunrise, so I placed an orange sky, then decorated the map with floating islands and activated the fog. However, there's a problem. By default, Unity doesn't allow configuring the fog height. The idea is just to obscure the lower part of the islands, thereby establishing a sensation of altitude. After that, I included some 3D clouds and made them spin so the map appears more intricate. But do you know what else is detailed and I lack functions? So, Filmora, which sponsors this video, is a video editor with infinite possibilities and is incredibly user-friendly. It doesn't matter if you have just learned to edit videos, with Filmora 11, everything is easy. It offers functions like instant mode, allowing you to pick from many templates and create a video in under 15 minutes. And obviously, you can also start with a blank project and use the media stock that has over 10 million images, videos, audios, lukuan, including others that are free of copyright. There are that and many more features like the speed curve, super easy to use, which allows you to create slow and fast motion effects. Additionally, there is a special event where you can try the editor with all features and no watermark for 7 days completely free. So I invite you to download Filmora using the link in the description. And there you have it. The map's base is complete, so now I need to design the levels. To do this, I will utilize a professional tool, the famous Paint application. The idea is to make 10 maps and cycle them. As I previously stated, all maps are made up of the same background, with the only difference being the islands connected by bridges, which is nothing more than stretched cubes. Finally, there is the winner's podium, also constructed from cubes and some confetti particles. Time to implement the character. I downloaded a humanoid model and imported the animations. I programmed its movement with an invisible joystick. I also ensured that its animation adapts dynamically based on how fast it moves. Everything is fine, but for now, the game is merely a walking simulator. So, it's time to implement the bridge construction. First, I made the bodies appear on the island where they are situated. The character is there, and upon making contact, the code checks if they are the same color. If so, it picks it up from the ground, and well, all that's left is to program the bridge itself. Place an invisible floor so that the character does not fall off the map, then fill the entire bridge with the bodies. This is where things got complicated. By default, the bodies are invisible until activated by a player, and when trying to pass over them, it obviously must also be the same color. Otherwise, if a player of a different color tries to pass over, they must first convert it to their color. And to further complicate things, there may be a situation where a player gets stuck in the middle of the bridge trying to go back to find more bodies, and another player arrives to change the path to a different color. They would literally be stuck. So I had to solve that by making it so they can only pass over a body of a different color if they are descending. Finally, to avoid confusing the player, I ensured they cannot descend after advancing to the next island. I don't know if I explained myself well. I literally had a brain bug while writing the script. To ensure the player doesn't end up playing alone, we need to implement artificial intelligence. And I know it will collect the nearest body of the same color. And when it collects a certain quantity, it goes and builds the bridge. The specific amount is determined based on the difficulty, as it's not the same to gather half the required bodies to build the bridge than to complete everything all at once. Additionally, I know that its movement speed will vary depending on the difficulty, and as expected, the difficulty increases as the player levels up. So I hope you don't lose to the bots while playing the first level. We need to polish the game a bit, and I know it plays a handcrafted sound every time the player collects a body or builds a bridge. If you're asking why it's handcrafted, it's because I created it with my mouth. After that, I created a display that shows up when the player finishes a level. It shows the race results and the coins collected. Additionally, the player progresses a bar to receive a reward. This is how it motivates them to continue playing. Unsurprisingly, the rewards are skins. Interestingly, I had to compress the character to get it into the box. On another note, I made the main menu where players can switch skins and purchase more gifts using coins. By the way, there are 600 skins in total, and I applied a rendering technique called matte cap for this. Basically, its image is, or rather a screenshot, of a pre-made lighting and reflection. So you might get a terrible skin, or if you're lucky, a fantastic one. Now what can't be missing in an ad game? Sure, ads. Please don't criticize me, I need to eat. But rest assured, the game won't be filled with ads. As only one appears for every 3 completed levels, everything else is up to you. For example, if you fall off the map, you can opt to view an ad to revive, or after completing a level, you can watch another ad to speed up your reward. Finally, you can choose between watching an ad or spending 100 coins to unlock a random skin. So, the game is on the Play Store, and I'll leave the download link in the description. Also, I finally created a mobile game after 4 months. Thus, if you liked the video, please give it a like, share it, subscribe, and follow me on Twitter for more games in 24 hours and sometimes RTX. I am Luis Dev, and I'll see you in the next video.